Well, now, please grab your seat somewhere and sit and relax because this is about to be a hard talk. When was the last time you had a hard talk? Today is it. It's all about hard talk, okay? And I'm going to debunk some of the issues that you've been believing. Remember one thing about life, sometimes we unlearn to relearn so that at least we can grab new information on ourselves, okay? And today's topic is all about rentals. It is not growing money, actually. It's more of an investment. It's an investment. It's more of an asset, if I may call it so, by the way. And by the way, if you've been there and you think like most of the landlords, they usually have money. No, you're wrong. They do not have most of the money that you usually think. And today I'm going to discuss that step by step. This is what you're supposed to do instead. Okay, let's get into the business. Oh, and by the way, guess what? I do upload a video each and every day. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that the whole YouTube, can you imagine this? Whole YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a new good video. Like the video, let's get the point. Now, see, well, I know each and every, personally, first of all, I have to start with this. Personally, I love real estate. I love investing in real estate and building rentals. It's an amazing way of putting your money somewhere. But there's something I should let you know from today. There's something called growing money, all right? And there is something called what? Storing money, or should I call it safeguarding? To safeguard is to make sure now, hey, guess what? Hey, you've been working too much and too hard. Maybe you've been in business, your business is doing amazing, is doing great. Now you have a good cash flow. Now you are like, okay, fine. Because I'm not gonna grow old with this business. It's actively needed me or needs me. Then I'm gonna take this money, get into the real estate. And this is where the rich and the poor, this is where the rich don't share some of the information. You find a poor person or somebody who is not financially free or doesn't have enough financial muscle getting into a thing that the rich people are getting into, but the rich people don't tell you the truth. I'm gonna give you an example, okay? Take an example of someone who has the capability of having 10 million Kenyan shillings, and take an example of somebody who has 2 million. So these guys want to get into the real estate. If you leverage on this amount and leverage on this amount, obviously this guy has more capacity because this guy can even grab a plot worth 2 million and then use the 8 million to come up with what? Some of the structure that they can be able to lease them out or rent them out, however you're gonna call them. Now this guy probably gonna access only what? A 2 million property. But now, because the guy cannot afford to go and buy the 2 million property, that a piece of land, then he have to degrade a little bit, go to an area where maybe he can get one for 1 million, and then the remaining 1 million, maybe you can build maybe let's say 2 units, or maybe let's say for 1 bedroom, then you can rent them out. Both of them, they are in the real estate, but the guy who has the more financial muscle is doing it far much better, because in real estate, not until you leverage on the amount, not until you leverage, because real estate is a capital intensive investment. Remember, there are different types of investment. There is labor-intensive investment and there is a capital-intensive investment. So when you come to the real estate, it's a capital-intensive investment, okay? Now, you find these people now, by the time now they're transiting to the real estate, they were having a business somewhere, and this business has what we call the cash flow. Cash flow is great, and I'm going to use a very simple example here. Let's take a 2-case scenario here. There's one individual who has a business that is, let's say the business is doing a cash flow of maybe, let's say, 1 million bob a month, 1 million bob in 1 month, okay? And then there is a guy here who barely started. Let's say it's an electronic business. This is an electronic business, and this is also an electronic business. So this guy has been in business for over 15 years, okay? Or 20 years, okay? And maybe let's say he's an old person somewhere. And this guy, he's in the electronic business, and this business is doing a cash flow of, let's say, 100,000 a month, okay? Now, this guy, both of them, they know very well real estate, it's an amazing investment, of which even Good Joseph supports it. But now the problem is this. This guy has a cash flow of 1 million a month. This guy has a cash flow of 100K a month. Now, this guy gets his first 4 million, okay? The guy already understands the business, so he knows the nitty-gritty. Instead of the guy thinking on how I can be able to channel back the money into the business, so that when I say all the money, it doesn't have to be all the money. It can be a good fraction of the money, because you already understand the business. You can actually scale the business. You can scale the business, either increase the more branches that you have, or you can sell more products, or you can leverage on many things. Maybe say you rely on buying from the wholesalers. You can think on how you can import it, grow the business, something of sort. Now guy drains the 4 million from the business and gets into the real estate too early. Getting the real estate too early. You get into the real estate too early. The business now, you're choking the business. The business remains at 100K. The guy is doing it at a million. And then the guy has more financial muscle, gets into the real estate. Okay. And I'm going to show you here. For example, if you take an average of, it will cost you, but I stand corrected. If you are a contractor in Kenya, you can verify this. Depends on the town that you're located in. It will cost you around 4.5 to 5 million to build 8 units of 1 bedroom. I'm not talking about the story building. I'm talking the flat one. Yeah, it will cost you around 4.5 to 5 million to build that without the price of the property. Say the property or the land maybe will cost you like 2. Therefore, it will cost you around 6.5 to, let's say, 6 to 6.5. Let's call it at 6 flat rate. Okay, let's call it at 6 million. Now, this 6 million that you've invested to build 8 units of 1 bedroom. This unit one, you say you rent it at 7,000. Again, depends on where this whatever is located. Let's give it an average of 7,000. That gives you 56,000 a month, assuming that it has 100% occupancy. Assuming at the same time this amount of money, or rather this unit, there is no repairs. Assuming like throughout the year nothing. There's no glitch. Tenants are there, 100% occupancy. There is no repairs and all those kind of things. You get that amount of money. And obviously, in a business or an investment, such parameters, they don't hold. Okay, and then at this particular point, you see how much you've invested, 6 million to get how much? 56,000 at the end of the month. Therefore, this will take you ups of 10 years, more than 10 years to earn this amount of money. Or rather, to what do we call to break even, to bring back your cash that you had invested. So when you look at this kind of an investment, real estate is not really, unless maybe you build with this 6 million and then immediately you think about reselling it. Reselling it, maybe you can sell it at 7.5 million. You make your clean 1.5, or maybe you can sell it at 7, then you make your clean 1 million. Maybe you liquidate it in a period of 3 months or 5 months, you get an extra 1 million. Or even if you were to liquidate it in an year, you get an extra 1 million, you build another one, you sell it. Because there are two types of real estate. There is a real estate where you can get it to rent them out, or you can get into a real estate where it is a real estate and a business at the same time. Hello? See, there is a difference between a business and an investment. Investment is where the money works for you. And one of the areas of the investment is the real estate. It's an investment because the money is working for you. And you can actually get into a real estate, which is an investment, but wrap it in a business wrap. Okay, whereby you're building to resell. You're selling a product. That way you actually realize more money than you getting into this bank on this 6 million, then go back to the field, your business of 100,000, accumulate another money, bring another 6 million, build. So by the time now you create a part of a substantive investment, it will take you a lot of time. So when you look at it, yes, I understand it's an asset that is generating cash flow. It's true. Actually, it deserves to be called an investment, but I'll view it from a lenses of it is not really that smart way that would make you money more faster compared if maybe perhaps you could have rechanneled that money back to your business. And obviously, when I say rechannel that, for example, if you have that 4 million or 6 million, you can decide, okay, fine, this business has a turnover of, let's say, 3 or 5 million or 4 million or something of so. That's what makes me 100 G's a month, for example. And you can be like, okay, fine, I have this 6 million. Because in business, in anything you do, you have to incorporate risk. Because I know there is someone who is preparing a comment of, hey, but business can fail. And it is true. Even for example, right now we have the flooding. How many houses have been flooded? By the way, I'm making this video on May, where Kenya is experiencing a lot of floods and what have you. So anything has its own risks. And if you're be an individual who you're looking for a zero risks and zero whatever, they are not in existence. So you must be an individual who risks. So the more you risk, obviously, the more money you get. You can be like, okay, fine, I have this 5 million with me or this 6 million with me. Well, fine. Obviously, I cannot be able to risk all my money. What I will do, I'll get my 4 million, okay? I don't want to stay idle in a bank. I'm going to get myself into an investment. I'm going to put it in a bill. Bill obviously doesn't go for a long time. It goes for a year maximum. Give you an interest rate of 16.8% or something or thereabout. Well, obviously, again, that's another investment that is not really making you a lot of money. Again, it gives you a simple interest, or you can decide take this money, get it in an MMF with giving you a compound interest, and that's a crazy way of actually multiplying your money within that period of time. And I'm gonna again do this, the 2 million that is actually on top of that, I'm gonna take it, channel or pump it back to business. Maybe I can leverage on importation, therefore I can be able to leverage on what we call the pricing factor, whereby if I actually sort of cease buying from the wholesalers or wholesalers, I can actually import it. Therefore I'll be able to not only become a retailer but a wholesaler, and I'm gonna leverage on what lot on what we call the pricing. You think about how you can grow yourself. You think about how you can grow your business. Because let me tell you one secret. I have never seen a rich or wealthy individual who created their wealth from multiple streams of income. No, they did one thing continuously. They actually sharpened their skills on that specific thing. They became experts on that specific thing. Now, after them, you've mastered that thing continuously. If you're into production, you've mastered the production. Maybe you're producing tissue. You understand the production of tissue in and out. You know it very well. So now after you master that specific thing, that's now when you start to diverge, to diversify. You're getting into the real estate. You don't want a thing that has a lot of moving parts. You get into the real estate. And you're getting into the real estate, bearing in mind at the back of your head, there is a very good cash flow that is coming from somewhere, that is from the business. Now, when now you become older person, you now shift from relying on the business, you let other people take over from you, and now you rely on something that is making money with your absence. That is exactly how you do it. But the moment you start diversifying early, the moment you start now draining the business, the money, and now putting it to the real estate, because you know at the back of your head, hey, it's an amazing area of investment and what it is. But if you compare the rate at which, it's more of a capital preservation. If you understand the difference between those two terms, an investment, a capital preservation, and what have you. So you're supposed to do that. For example, I had a client who did invite me somewhere. And I realized the guy was wondering, now, why is my business struggling? And then when we did all the calculations, I realized the guy has a stalled project somewhere. The guy has bought a piece of land, he's building some rental somewhere, and that guy is looking forward into being a landlord somewhere. Because, yeah, I know that it comes more with an ego than the money part, especially if you're struggling financially. And that's why people do not understand, okay? Now, I realized that all the money that ought to have been in the business, that's why this guy is on loans and debts and what have you, it has already been channeled towards coming up with that structure, of which is not even generating anything. It has been stalling for the last 6 months, of which if that money was in a bill, this guy could have actually gotten the first token or the first coupon. You see, these are some of the things that people do not understand. Have you ever had somebody starting a project and the project stalls at a certain point, and then that project maybe was worth 10 million, is hanging somewhere, it's stored for the next 5 or 6 years? You can just imagine if that money was channeled towards a bill or a bond or an MMF or where or something of so. You can just imagine how much that money could have actually been making. And then later, guy can actually show up to the market and be able to actualize the structure when you actually, put all your financials together. Then when you do the groundbreaking, you go with the project throughout the times until you finish the project. So these are some of the things that you really need to be cautious and careful. And I always tell people, hey, by the time you make any decision as far as the investments are concerned, it's always good to ask your financial advisor. Contact them. Don't feel bad or whatever, parting with some few coins to get the advice, to get the coaching, because just like an iron sharpens another. Even me, I do charge, or rather I do pay some people to help me, understand some of the areas, because I cannot come before the camera and start talking about something that I do not understand. I have to go sit with them, listen to them. Some of them will tell you, hey, this is my time, you need to pay me. I pay them according to the rates. I learn, I understand. So not until we Africans we start appreciating the factor, the importance of having the knowledge and also, so that by the time now you're doing the groundbreaking, you already know. For example, if I want to start a project, I have to inquire, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do the other? I compare all those nitty-gritties together. Now, by the time I'm doing the groundbreaking of any given investment, I already know, hey, this one will work, this one will do this is what I'm expecting. Rather than starting a project, then at the middle of the project, that now you start to realize, oh my goodness, this thing can't work. You get what I'm saying? So those are the nitty-gritties that you need to understand, so that at least you be good better as you progress as far as your finances are concerned. This is Good Joseph speaking. And by the way, you'll do me a great favor if you go ahead and hit that like button, as well as subscribing to this channel, because I do upload a video each and every day. And by the way, don't forget to as well leave a comment down there. Tell me what you think. Yeah, this is an open discussion. And by the way, don't as well forget, my number is always on the description of this specific video. You can grab it, shoot me a call or a text. Let's have a conversation, because just like an iron sharpens another iron, so we learn from each other. For now, it's a goodbye. See you there in the next one.